8 years ago, I 56M discovered that my wife, Marie 52F, was having an affair with a man she had known from her college days. By the time I caught on, the relationship had already been going on for nearly a year. As soon as I learned the truth, I moved out of our house and filed for divorce. Honestly, our marriage had been rocky for some time. She constantly criticized me for not making enough money as a high school baseball coach, even though I worked hard at what I loved. Arguments became part of daily life, and when I found out about her betrayal, ending things felt like the only clear choice. Our kids were already grown and out of the house, so staying wasn't necessary. Unfortunately, the divorce didn't just end my marriage, it damaged my relationship with my children too. For reasons I still struggle to understand, both of them chose to back their mother. At first, they begged me to show her mercy. They told me she had been a stay-at-home mom for years and was likely frustrated with how repetitive her life had become. They made excuses for her and acted as if I should overlook the betrayal. Yes, Marie and I argued often, and yes, money was tight, but I had never cheated. After every fight, I still tried to make things right, to do something to make her feel loved. None of it mattered in the end. My kids urged me to give her another chance, and when I refused, it created friction between us. We clashed, and before long, they stopped speaking to me altogether. Meanwhile, Marie wasted no time moving on. She married the man she cheated with just 2 months after our divorce was finalized. I tried reaching out to my children, but I could tell any forgiveness they gave me was just words. Deep down, they hadn't truly forgiven me. The proof was in how they treated me. I wasn't included in any of their big life moments. Both of my children got married within the past several years. Gavin 6 years ago, Hannah 4, and I wasn't invited to either wedding. They claimed it would have been too uncomfortable with their mom and her new husband there. They promised to make it up to me, but they never followed through. Despite the rejection, I still hoped they would one day acknowledge that I was just as much their parent as their mother. When they finally reconnected with me earlier this year, I thought maybe that time had come. The truth hit me later. A few years ago, I started a small business with friends. We didn't expect much in the beginning, but to our surprise, it grew quickly and has been doing well. Word must have spread, because shortly after things picked up, my kids suddenly wanted me back in their lives. At first, I was thrilled. I thought they genuinely wanted to mend the relationship. But when Gavin and Hannah visited recently, their real intentions became clear. During their visit, they praised my success and then suggested I spend more time with my grandchildren, while also hinting at financial support. That's when I realized they weren't there for me. They were there because they needed help. I didn't lash out in the moment. I simply told them I would think about it. Once they left, I blocked them everywhere. Deep down, I suspected they were just trying to use me. To give some background, Gavin has 2 kids, ages 5 and 1, and Hannah had a baby girl 6 months ago. I haven't met any of them. When Gavin's oldest was born, I begged for a chance to visit, but he always declined, saying Marie and her husband would be around and it would cause tension. The same excuse was used when Hannah had her daughter. It hurt. For 5 years, I've longed to meet my grandchildren, and every time I reached out, I was turned away. Now, suddenly, they want me to step into the role of grandfather, conveniently when they're struggling financially. After they left my house, I started asking around to better understand their situation. That's when I learned the truth. My kids have been having money troubles for a while. On top of that, their once close relationship with their stepdad has soured. For years, it seemed like Marie and her new husband had the perfect blended family. The photos they posted online made it look like everyone adored him. But I found out he now plans to sell his furniture business. Here's where it gets messy. When Marie married him, both Gavin and Hannah joined the company. They've been working there ever since, even becoming part owners and managers. Looking back, I can't help but think this was why they took her side in the divorce. They wanted to secure their spots in his business. But the company hasn't been doing well lately. Marie's husband sees a chance to sell, make money, and move on. Gavin and Hannah, however, are fighting it because they'd lose their jobs. They want to keep the business for their own security, but ultimately it isn't their decision. I believe that's why they came to me. They know I'm financially comfortable now, and they're desperate. Once I pieced everything together, I made my decision. I would keep them blocked and stay out of their lives. For 8 years, they've shown me nothing but rejection. Now that they're in trouble, they suddenly want me back. It felt insulting, like I was just their backup plan. Still, just days later, they showed up at my door again. They begged me to let them in, and when I refused, they pressed harder. I told them directly that I knew why they were there. They wanted money because of their issues with their stepdad and the failing company. I even called them sellouts, reminding them how quickly they abandoned me for stability that I couldn't offer back then. They fired back, saying I was being cruel and petty. They claimed they didn't want to use me and only asked for help because of their kids. They insisted they were trying to make amends, that they now saw I was still their father and deserved a place in their lives. That conversation was just 2 days ago, and I can't stop thinking about it. It's stressing me out so badly that I had to take time off work. On one hand, everything I've heard from extended family confirms my suspicions. My children only reached out because they're in trouble. My family has always been kind and supportive of me, especially since the divorce, so I have no reason to believe they'd lie. On the other hand, I don't want to miss a chance to reconnect with my kids and finally meet my grandchildren. I keep asking myself, am I making a huge mistake by shutting them out? Should I give them some financial help, nothing major, just enough to get them by, so I don't close the door on reconciliation? I don't even know if they want a loan, an investment, or a simple handout. But I'm certain that money is what's at the heart of this. I'm torn between protecting myself from being used again and seizing what might be my only opportunity to rebuild my relationship with my children and grandkids. Maybe I really am coming across as harsh and ungrateful, just like they accused me of being. If I let pride guide me, I might ruin any chance I still have of repairing things with my family. The only thing holding me back now is the fear of being taken advantage of, and that's the last thing I want. Honestly, I'm confused and drained. I don't feel like I have anyone to talk to openly about this, which is why I'm sharing it here. I'm just an aging man who's been mostly alone since my divorce, still trying to figure life out. As much as it hurts to admit, I miss my kids deeply. I want them back in my life. But I can't decide if this is the right way to make it happen. So I ask myself, am I truly in the wrong for not wanting to hand over money to my children? Update 1, I appreciate all the responses. I think what I really needed was a wake-up call, because in my desperation I was seriously considering sitting down with them again. But now it's clear. I've been nothing but a doormat for years. They always acted like talking to me was doing me a favor, while giving their full loyalty to Marie and her new husband. Looking back, I see now why they chose him. It was all about the security he offered. And knowing that, I realized there's no path back. I brought the situation up with some of my coworkers. They already knew the history, but when I explained the recent events and what I'd uncovered, they were furious on my behalf. At first, they assumed Marie had turned my kids against me with lies. But once they realized my children had basically been bought with promises of jobs and a share in their stepdad's company, they agreed there's no rebuilding from this. They advised me to keep my children blocked for my own dignity and peace of mind, because if I let them back in, they'd drain me financially. And honestly, I don't even know what kind of money they were after. Even if it was a small amount, I don't feel like I owe them. Even if they were honest and claimed it was for the grandkids, it still doesn't change the fact that they've never let me meet those kids or be part of their lives. Why should I start handing out money for children I wasn't even allowed to know? It may sound cold, but it's the truth. I can't feel guilty for every child I've never met and treat my bank account like it's a charity. If that makes me look bitter and uncaring in their eyes, then so be it. I'll keep my distance and live my own life. It will hurt, yes, but not any worse than these last 8 years already have. If I've survived that, I can survive this. At least this time it will be my decision, and I'll be in control instead of letting them walk all over me. Thank you for letting me vent. I really needed it. If anything changes, I'll update again. Update 2, 2 weeks have passed. While I was at work yesterday, Gavin and his wife Sarah showed up with my grandkids, demanding to see me. I was in the middle of a training session with students. I don't take meetings during those hours, so like everyone else, they were expected to wait. They refused. Our receptionist let me know they were causing a scene in the lobby. To avoid making things worse, I had security escort them to my office and asked them to wait there instead. I finished my session before heading over. Yes, I made them wait half an hour, but it was important they learned they can't just barge into my workplace and expect special treatment. When I finally walked into my office, they were clearly upset. The kids were restless, and Gavin and Sarah immediately started lecturing me on how inconsiderate it was to keep them waiting, especially with young children in tow. Their attitude infuriated me. I told them flat out that I treated them no differently than anyone else who wanted my time during work hours. If others can wait, so can they. The truth is, they've never shown me respect or kindness before, so why should I give them special treatment now? They only stayed because they wanted something. Then they tried shifting gears, saying they had brought the grandkids so I could finally meet them and start being part of their lives. As much as it tugged at me, I had to turn it down. I told them I was heading home for the day and wasn't interested in being manipulated. They were clearly using their kids as leverage, hoping I'd cave. I told them that kind of tactic was weak and dishonest. Of course, they denied it and insisted their intentions were pure. But it was obvious. The whole thing devolved into an argument. I adore those kids, I really do, but their parents ruined it. Eventually, Gavin lost his temper and started yelling. That upset the children, who began crying. I tried to comfort the little ones while Gavin and Sarah kept shouting. I finally told them if they didn't leave, I'd have security throw them out. That shut things down quickly. Before storming off, they called me heartless and accused me of letting my ego destroy everything. But honestly, I didn't care. I just wanted peace. It's been a day since that encounter and I still haven't unblocked them. I don't plan to. I think I'm done for good. Update 3. It's been 3 more days. I haven't spoken to them directly, but today I received an email from a new address. In it, Gavin and Sarah apologized for everything that happened. They admitted things hadn't gone the way they planned. At first, they were angry at me for not giving them the welcome they wanted. But after reflecting, they realized I had every right to be upset. They even admitted the rumors I'd heard were true. They did choose their stepdad over me because of the financial security he offered. They said they hated to admit it, but it was the truth. They admitted they had been selfish and unfair. In the email, they claimed they no longer wanted me to invest in their new business venture, and that it would be my choice entirely. Their only request was that I not turn my back on the grandchildren. They told me if I wanted to see the kids, I could call anytime. I don't know what to think. The email sounded sincere, but I've been deceived before. I don't want to make the same mistake again. Still, my heart aches for a relationship with my grandkids. I'll need time to think about it. For now, I'm stepping back and taking a break from all this stress. Update 4. It's been about 2 months since then, and I've finally made a decision. I'm going to try to build a bond with my grandchildren, regardless of the situation with my kids. I'm 58 now. Time isn't slowing down, and I don't want to miss out on whatever years I have left. Those kids have already spent their whole lives without knowing their real grandfather. So a few days ago, I replied to my children's email. I invited them, their spouses, and the kids over for dinner at my house this weekend. But I also made one thing crystal clear. I will not be investing in their business. If their intention was financial, then they could forget it. I told them bluntly that if this boundary made them reconsider visiting, that was fine with me. I'd rather know the truth than let them blur the lines again. To my surprise, they responded quickly and said they accepted my terms. They admitted they didn't deserve my help financially but still wanted me to know my grandchildren. Last night, they came over. We had dinner, and for the first time in years, it felt like a real family gathering. Their spouses were kind and respectful, and both my kids apologized for the past. They told me they wanted to start over, and honestly, so do I. I've been lonely for far too long. Retirement is on the horizon, and I don't want to spend the rest of my life alone. I'm relieved that my children finally chose to reach out in the right way. I hope this is the beginning of something better for us all. Thank you for following along with my story. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit the notification bell so you don't miss more real-life stories like this one.